We got paper towels? No, of course not. Why would we have paper towels? I think I really need to get me a rag or something. Hello, 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 hello. Doom, boom, boom. Get some of this junk out the way. How are you guys? Am I froze up already? No, right? We're good. Boom, boom, boom. I think I need image stabilization on this guy. I'm almost positive it's turned into standard. Hit record. Scared? Scared of what? What could possibly be scary right now? The sketchbook. It's trash. Take your time. I'm just chilling. It's Saturday. I'm okay. Like I said, this is just the generic rose that I did the other day. So, of course, I put the clip away that I needed. Did get more sunflower seeds today. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, nothing special. Nothing special. I'm painting. I'm going to try color theory for my shadows. Nice. What color are you trying to do with your rose there, Seth? Don't expect much. It was kind of a cruddy day, but we're gonna have fun with it anyways. I do need to erase some of this stuff I got going on here. A lot of these sketches were kind of middle of the day. I needed to clear my head a little bit. So a lot of them, I was like the city one, I probably rubbed out most of that one with my hand. It's okay. I'm gonna try light purple, but not sure. Make that sound. What color are you gonna try to run with? Like, what colors are you gonna mix for your purple? Oh, Erika. Yeah, we'll see how I feel after this. I'm gonna do this rose for sure. And it looks like I might be missing for a week. Come tomorrow through. So what I might do is jump on TikTok after this and kind of play around for a little bit too, because it might be the last bit of painting I get to do for a few days for sure. Let's use the Scrim palette just because I know it's a pretty simple one. It'd be really cool if it didn't come up missing right when I need it. No, I said I was gonna do Holbein, that's what it was. I already saved the other one. So we'll use the Holbein palette. And that'll be this guy right here. I think mostly, I want to lean this more red for me. No, it's for everybody. I normally just put the replay on Patreon. I didn't even post anything about it on the stories today too. I forgot about that. Hey Terry. So I think I'm gonna use Scarlet Lake, Paraline Maroon. I don't know if I've ever done like a red rose. So maybe I might join you on that one, Saz. Maybe we'll do at Hooker's Green for the shadows. We'll see how that plays out. And then for a regular green, I think I might go Royal Blue and Quinn Gold. Should make some pretty greens, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors on this one. Scarlet Lake, Paraline Maroon, Quinn Gold, Hooker's Green, and Royal Blue. Yeah. Hopefully y'all can see the palette pretty good over there, yeah? Hey, Becca. Anytime I read your name on here like that, it screws me up. Oh, wow, fun time. Nice. So what I want to do first is kind of make a mess, if I'm being honest. I need to let some frustration out. And what better way than to just splatter shit around? The reference, Becca, is on... this is just something I drew out. I put up a reference for anybody that wanted their reference. But I just drew out a rose, if I'm being honest. Kind of from the head shot. What I don't want to do is dip into my coffee, so I'm going to move the coffee out the way. How are you doing, Becca? It's good to see your face in here. Yeah, so the big mess first I want to do is kind of create... Okay, so we're going to use Hooker's Green, so I will throw that kind of around the rose. Thankfully, these reactivate pretty quick. See, it's such a bright green. That is not a green that I normally tend to play with. I think I like mixed greens better, only because I feel like you get more... I might leave royal blue out of this. Let's use Hooker's Green. We'll throw in a touch of that Perylene Maroon, which is this guy here. Yeah, I heard that one, my friend. So we'll darken that guy up a little bit. Kind of neutralize it with that red. The rose. So what did I sketch all night? Wait, did you sketch the... You didn't sketch the image with the parachute, right? Yeah, I didn't have any really good reference photos, so I didn't put it up on the YouTube for it. Look at that, it's a pretty green, actually. And we'll throw in some of that Quinn Gold kind of at the top up there. We'll have 3 greens. That'll be kind of our warmer green up here. Okay, so we got one like chemical green, one warm green, and one kind of olive green. And all I really want to do here is kind of just throw a mess. I'm going to keep the Hooker's Green around the flower itself. I really just kind of want to create just a little abstract mess around here. It's the sketchbook. I don't want to worry too much about it. Hey, what's up, Steph? Not even going to bother with this flower. It's impossible for me. What, roses? I don't believe that. And more on this side over here. Again, just kind of keeping everything messy. Good thing is this sketchbook tends to hold up pretty good. I'm going to water down that chemical green a lot. So if my lights are coming in, I think I'm going to lean it more towards... Put the light coming in this way. So what I'm going to do is keep all the highlights kind of back sides of these flowers. These petals, should I say. And this is all going to be spritzed anyways. I just want to get a little bit more. I'm going to keep a few of those white highlights. I don't really do flowers like this, but I'm trying something new. Again, just letting stuff kind of play a little bit. Big mess, sketchbook, big mess. Leave a lot of that white there. Alright, more of that kind of weird green up here. So we've got a whole page of green. I'm going to splatter a little bit, get some cool texture out of those greens. Maybe even a little bit of splatter of that dark green with that Perylene Maroon. Look at that chemical green. Alright, and then we'll soak up our little crevice here. A good bit of water right there in the crack of it. Yeah, I like where that's at. I don't mind having those white spots. Kind of go on top of that too. And then we can dry that guy. Start working on the actual focus, which is the petals. I didn't go too saturated in the background because I want to keep my sketch. I already lightened my sketch a lot by erasing a good bit of it. So, I still want to be able to see where I had things. My main goal with this sketchy Saturdays was just to kind of not do ugly stuff, but not care if it's perfect and try new things. And I feel like we have, especially with the boat. I haven't done like an outdoor landscape with some kind of like front focus like that boat in a while. And we had the onions, that was fun. The beer, the still life beer. The sketchbook is still holding up well. I'm trying to think of what we did. What did I do in the sketchbook before? Like if I had to turn this page back, I can't even tell you what it was. Soak up a little bit of this stuff. Just because I don't want to sit here waiting for it to dry too long. I'm not gonna really dab into it because I don't want to affect the texture. I'm just trying to pick up a little bit of that paint. Was it the flamingos? We do need to do a bug, don't we? Yeah, that Becca, you know, with me with sketchbooks. Again, I think everything shifts once you start selling your art, where it's like, okay, everything's time valuable, I guess. Take your time, Mel. I'm going slow with this guy. Um, so that kind of ruined me for sketchbooks for a while, especially once I started selling stuff. Because like, not that I need money, but it's nice to make money from your art. It does kind of make you feel somewhat legitimate, I guess. But the only problem is it kind of takes you away from playing. I try not to let it do a lot of different shit and whatnot, but in my head for a long time, sketchbooks were really hard because it's not wasted material, but it's wasted material, and wasted material equals wasted time. Don't have a whole lot of that. That Hooker's green actually dried up pretty cool. I don't know if I would use that in like a saturated stance. But something like this, kind of watered down, mixing with other colors, kind of dig it. Yeah, see, that would probably be harder for me than sketchbooking, if I'm being honest. I don't know, dude. I don't have a whole lot of time anymore. So say anymore. I just don't have a ton of time. That's why the lives are really nice for me. Because I kind of just get on and paint BS. Like it's like doing the social thing plus painting plus possibly getting something out of it. It's not much that I do for myself, if I'm being honest. So journaling's probably out of the picture for me. This is like my thought of journaling, even though it's normally live with you guys. Sue, how are you? What's up, D? I think that red's going to be really strong against this, and I'm not mad about it. I think I might even, what I'm going to do while that dries a little bit more is mix up my reds. I'm going to take over that green part of this palette. Let's waste some paint real quick and wipe all this up. Okay, so what I want to do here is, let's go smaller brush. I did wash all my brushes today because I had good mental shit going. Let's go size 20. I think we've been using the hell out of our size 0. Let's get some paint in here and get rid of some of that soap. So we'll go Scarlet Lake. It's a really hot, warm red. I need to make sure not to use up my paint here. This is the one I'm taking to the Grand Canyon. Now we got Scarlet Lake. Let's do some Paraline Maroon with that. And what I'll do is mix in a little bit of that Hooker's Green in there. That gives us a nice brown. Kind of dig that. This is going to be a really warm painting, honestly. What we can do for our highlights, since we use Quinn Gold, I'll go ahead and mix in a little spot of Scarlet Red. Warm this red up a little bit with some of that Quinn Gold. Now we got kind of like a brilliant deep orange, which I don't mind at all. So that'll be my 3 reds there. Mid-tone, dark, highlight. Highlight we can water down a good bit. I drew these big guys in, and I don't know if they're petals or not. Kind of wanted to make them leaves, but maybe we'll just keep it one big ass rose. So I'm gonna take that highlight color we've got there, some water on the brush, start kind of pushing in some of these spots here. The second one was Paraline Maroon. Like I said, my light's coming in this way, so I'm going to have a lot of light over here. I don't want to do this necessarily like a coloring book, but I'm going to get some light tones in. We can kind of go from there and put some of those shadow colors in there and let it kind of bleed in. Especially right there on that line that I just put in. So more water here, less paint. Actually ended up being a really pretty color. Instead of doing my white line for separation, I think what I'm going to do is kind of just jump around a little bit more than I normally do. So this is my shadow right here. I'm going to push in a few more back here. We don't have one solid color. I might throw a little bit of water in there, but that kind of mix back in. Some more light tones. I think the goal is to not sit there and fine detail everything on this one. And what we could do later on is kind of layer that too. So, so instead of doing my normal kind of white line, I'm actually going to bleed some of these shadows in. So I'm going to take this guy down right behind. Connect some of those shadows. And some of that nice orange we've got. I don't want to forget that I have that red there too, so I can play a little bit with that as well. Let's grab some of that. I don't want to make it like a multicolor rose, but I do want to have all those tones kind of doing their thing on the flower itself. Really just trying to keep in mind where my light's at. back into that Paraline Maroon for that shadow. The Hooker's Green. Bring that shadow all the way down into that red. Hopefully it pushes that red out a little bit. I'm trying to see where my line's at. Okay, there's some good stuff happening there. What's up, Fanny Nanny? More of that orange here. Be a few drops of water, get some texture. I don't want like leaf texture, but I do want some texture here. I need to put a little bit more red up here. We'll throw that one towards this back end here. Might create a little bit of fold. This one's from the mine, so I don't have really anything to kind of throw any shapes or forms, but I'm just kind of winging it. For a Sunday, I forgot you're in the future. My bad, Fanny. All right, I like where that's at a lot, actually. So instead of waiting and putting a line between this, what I'm gonna do is start on this guy, and we can kind of dry from there too. So I'm gonna take that same bright. A lot of my light's gonna be getting pushed here, so I'm gonna put a little pigment, then I'm gonna kind of sculpt around it. There wasn't really a reference, Fanny. There was I put one a rose picture that I had in the Discord, but I did not. I'm not painting from a reference this time. I'm just gonna paint your own rose thing. Leave your own rose. A little water here. And we could throw some red too, some really watered down red. Around this fold. Not so much a shadow there as to me in my head it's like one of those, the inner parts of the rose. I don't even know where this one goes. I don't see my sketch on this one anymore, so we're gonna make up our own. This is super light, so the only problem with that is it's gonna show in our greens through. But I kind of like that too. Stop bragging now. This is a basic ass rose. Maybe a little bit more color in here, just for my own eye. So just to please my own eye. Get a little bit more of that red, scarlet red. Kind of toss into the edges here. Yeah, very much dig that. Drop some water, have some fun. All right, I like that, but I do want a little bit more of that scarlet red on that fold too. We'll let that bleed back out into that wet mix. A very poppy-esque rose, if you will. You don't need to keep the Lucchetti clip down, doesn't bulk at all. The only reason why I have it clipped is because, yeah, it lays flat, but I think it's at an angle right now with where I'm at in the sketchbook. You see how we're kind of like broken down like that? So what happens is it like lifts one side of it and tilts some of my color. So that's why I'm clipping this side down. A little more brown here. Like, yeah, it lays flat, but not perfectly flat, if that makes sense. We'll have some shadow there, so that'll be good. Get a little bit difference in that. color here. Some water towards the light side of it. A wee bit of red just to play on the edge again. Into that brown. Good thing is this should be almost dry to where I can kind of paint back into it and not have that white crease. That's my overall goal here. Maybe a little bit more of that Quinn Gold. Scarlet Lake. Towards that inner part of it. I think Kay had that look at it before I did. A little bit more red there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had hers like a week or two before me, at least. Fanny, did you email them about shipping to you? Carlo was pretty cool about it. I mean, worst case scenario too, I think it would cost me like $20 to ship you one, if you wanted one. Ship it to your friend over there. It probably cost them a fortune, honestly, but I'd just probably mail it in a regular box. $60 to $80 for $2. I'm not gonna tell you it's worth it because I get no money from like them at all. But yeah, that seems expensive. I'd probably pay it just because, but I'm a FOMO kind of person. I'm very thankful Erica told me about them, honestly. Because y'all know I don't like sketchbooks, and this is one that I've like wanted to paint in. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, Kay. I hate to say it. I don't want her to spend that extra money to do it, but it's definitely one that I like a lot. Excuse me. I might put a green leaf here. I got a lot of room for nothing. I'm almost positive Fanny spent way dumber money. Oh, you might be coming to the States again? Who's that, Fanny? I'm pouring the salt. I actually have no salt in this painting. Thank you very much. Some cool looking blooms in here. Excuse me. That's, to me, that's why I like water over salt anytime, because it's like unpredictable blooms. If I'm going for like a wild texture, that's what I want. Just have some bigger shapes in here I kind of want to throw in before I switch brushes, but kind of going outside to in. I think that's going to give me some better visual of where my light stays. Like not forgetting where the light's at. Did you get the HP or the CP one? I got the CP one right now. I think he's sending me a hot press. I'm not sure. I need to get back with him though. He's been super duper sweet. I'll mix up a few more of those 3 colors. I haven't painted on hot press a lot lately at all, Fanny. You'd be kind of brown. I see something here. We're gonna kind of be guessing at some of this because my sketch is a little bit light. But this is a super wet mix of that brown. Yeah, we're gonna be guessing it a little bit. And not worried about this being super duper perfect. I just want good colors. It's that orange. I might keep a little bit of the white edge just to show some of those little folds. Put one right here, actually. There we go. It's a little guy. That color, that mixture right there is making something kind of beautiful, if I'm being honest. It's almost like a bruised brown. I don't know if you can see that in the camera well. But there's this little spot right here. It's kind of gorgeous, honestly. I wish I would have got like a Perylene green for this palette. I'm going to continue on. I might put a little bit more of a shadow here. A little bit more of those folds. Poor Mel. Yeah, I can't even tell where the sketch was anymore. Yeah, we're going to roll with it. I'm just going to hope for the best here. I think I have an idea of where the big petal was. Watch this color. This is what I'm kind of talking about. This like little bruise of that green coming back into it. Start grabbing a little bit more red into that. Just to differentiate between that brown and that red a little bit more. Be a very vintage looking rose here. A little bit more red. Push that a little bit on the back side here. Grab a little of that brown and create maybe a little fold right around there. A little bit darker. Some more water, get some texture. Maybe even a little bit more of that scarlet red towards the top. About here. Some of these petals are not going to see so much of that light. Johnny, how do I get the shadows to be smooth with the rest that not looking like big strokes of purple and yellow underneath? Depends on, did you do the purples and then dry it? Or is the purple still wet when you're trying to go back into it? As long as your paint, like if it's still wet and wet, like if you're just dropping in the reds into the purples, you should be able just to make your paint a little bit thicker. I've got some weird blooms happening right here just because of this little channel. So I'm going to remove a little bit of that water. I like it. It's just a little uneven compared to everything else. Maybe I'll throw some more blooms on this guy here. I tried it, but it looks funky. It's gonna. So if you... Kind of depends on how you're throwing the shadows. Like if you just did hard lines, you still should be able to kind of blend that out depending on the blue that you used for it. But this is going to sound very weird. Lean into those hard lines, like get used to using those hard lines. Because to me, anybody that can do like really strong hard line shadows, anybody that can do like hard line shadows is, I'm very envious of it. So don't be afraid of it. Maybe it's a good time to practice that, you know? Go into that orange here. I struggled with hard lines for a long time. I still do. I'm a wee bit better than I used to be with them. But it's a skill to have, kind of like keeping your whites, you know? Water here. I almost want this petal to be just dirty water. And we'll come back with some reds there, but I might do a little bit of that orange here. So kind of wetting this down. Grabbing a little bit of that orange. Kind of creating some of those little small crevices in those rose petals. I don't mind that. That's a little chunky up here. Smooth it back out. Looks like the most of this is drying pretty good. So I'm going to keep kind of moving around, and I'll come back into the ones that don't dry. Let's do really red on this guy right here. I'm going to leave a little white gap here for that light. I think my main goal for this rose was to not leave a bunch of spots. Some water here. And I'll do the same thing on that crevice there, but I'll use that dark brown. So some of that perylene, hooker's green. Bring that back down into that shadow right here, towards the bottom. Maybe a little bit more up here. Be very careful. This should be almost dry, so I'm going to go back up to that a little bit more. If it bleeds, I'm not really stressing it. We've got the red to kind of separate these two. I'm going to lean red into this one with the brown on the inside of that as well. So a little bit thicker. Again, the good thing is this back one is dry. That's the one we kind of air dry. Jesus. More water here, bleed that back out. If you notice, I'm not leaving really any white space. So what I'm going to do is try to think about that a little bit more. Throw some more of that white petal look there. Maybe one right here. Drop that red in, bring that down. This is already kind of drying on me a little bit, so I'm going to get that shadow in pretty quick. Grab that perylene, hooker's green. A little crevice here. I'm going to water this out. I want this to spread a lot more than the previous ones, just to create that dark kind of contrast between this petal and the next. So what I'll do is drop in a bit more water here. Let this loosen up. Don't necessarily like the shape of that guy. There we go. Okay, more red. More solid red into that mix. Especially where we had those little white spots. Maybe a little bit more. Take away some more of that white. There's a lot of that white. It's making some really cool browns. Some really cool browns. I might add a little bit more red into that brown here. Little spots of red. Just want everything to play. Now, this part's dry. Should be able to get to that one. I'm probably going to lean this one a good bit brown. Even though we got this spot here. I'm just going to watch my finger. Once we get into the smaller petals, I'll switch brushes, but as right now I'm feeling decently comfortable and I want to keep everything kind of loose anyway. I have no super expectations for this rose. I'm going to go really big on the brown because what I want to do is bring that yellow, that orange back into it. So, Quinn Gold, Scarlet. And this is why I put the brown pretty big. That way, even if it shrinks back, the shadow is still there. That makes it a really great green. A really earthy mix there. I'm not super mad about. Kind of wish I would have done some clovers with these colors, honestly. Okay, not bad. Let's dry that. I don't normally use Quinn Gold, but after seeing this, it makes me want to. What's up, man? Yeah, I think it's just too volatile of a mixing yellow to me. Like compared to what I'm kind of used to. But I also don't remember it drying like that earthy. I don't know. Might be worth exploring that. That's what I really wanted to do with this Holbein palette anyways, was have some colors I can explore. I'm trying to think of the last palette I had Quinn Gold in. Maybe a Gallo? I'm going to start leaning these inner petals a little bit more red. I want them to kind of pop out. Quinn Gold, Quinn Burnt Orange. Flux. Good. Good. Let's switch brushes, even though we just washed this guy. Alright, I'm going to lean heavy on the Quinn and the red, and we'll kind of go from there, but let's grab in some of these other spots here. I like how everything's drying a lot. So the light is mostly going to be that Quinn. I'm going to keep a wet edge here. Go a little bit heavier on the red into that. I'm just trying to watch my sketch. I don't want this to not make sense after I'm done. Kind of seeing what I don't like about the Quinn Gold again, but it could just be where I'm painting right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The browns are great. We'll blend this out a little bit more. I don't want to touch this too much. I don't want to end up with like a ketchup color. I really don't know where this damn petal went. We're gonna roll with it. What I want to do is push that red back a little bit, so I'm going to drop some water on the outside of the yellow. No, that's fair. What I want to do is push back that red just a tad. And I want the bloom, so I'm going to lift a little bit here and there. That sketchbook paper is awesome. Mine is handmade paper and it's dense, so not great for lots of layers. Yeah, I think that's why I like this one a lot, Becca, is that I'm able to kind of get the same wash as I would get on a lot of other stuff. This rose is probably not going to make a whole lot of sense. I've totally lost my sketch. A bit of brown here. I don't want the brown taking over, so just like touches of it. Yeah, I feel like I've lost it, but we're fine. We'll keep rolling with it. Let's go more Quinn on this guy here, since we have a good red petal there. Looks like this guy does its own thing, so this is going to be part of... I am going to leave a little white crease here. I'm not getting impatient, but I also don't want to be sitting here for 6 hours trying to chase every single one. It's a sketchbook. I don't want it crazy pretty. I just want to see how colors mix together on it and keep working on florals. It's okay because mine is on the chase. Stop it. Sketchbook. We're not stressing this. Very autumn rose, yes, I agree. This might not be a bad palette to bring though for the old Grand Canyon, because this is like really actually shaping up. Some nice browns, man. Throw a little bit more yellow there. Blend that out a little bit more. Very Canyon-esque. Well, don't let it, Steph. Just paint. Paint. Paint stop. Go a little bit more red on this big petal here. Kind of crease this guy out. Pretty thick on the red. Just drop some water and bleed back out. That Scarlet Lake is really a pretty red. Is the family all going to the Grand Canyon? No, unfortunately not. Not that I don't want to bring them, but I'm Got an uncle that's pretty sick. Didn't have much time left. So one of his wishes was always to see the Grand Canyon. And that's the one that basically raised me. So we're gonna make that happen for him Tuesday. More yellow in here. I've seen it once, but I've seen it like right at sunset, at like 10 minutes before the sun went down. We kind of got there, like we're coming home from Vegas. So, like we ran up, seen it, sun went down. A little dark here. This should be drying pretty good. I'm gonna go back more into that Quinn gold here. Yeah, I remember just looking down and thinking like, yo, there's dinosaurs here for sure, you know? Let's grab another yellow piece here. I said I lost my sketch a little while ago. Kind of just going off of what I remember roses looking like. Man, with that on top of that green, that hooker's green, that makes like a crazy color. More red here. Maybe a little bit red on the lip here. Drop some water. It almost creates like this like volcano look. This is gonna bleed in a little bit, not bad though. And we're gonna keep going. I think, well, let me dry it first. We'll do that. We won't put the white line everywhere right here. I do want some light, but not a whole lot of it. Of course, that light gets shifted. There we go. Yeah. Intentional mostly, some not. This, no, I want a texture. I think what I'm gonna do to this, because I like the blooms that happened. I like the tones we got, switching between the colors. I think all I'm gonna do after this is kind of put the shadows back in a little deeper, a little darker, and be cool with this, because I love all the colors that came from this. I'm trying to think of what I could use them else for. Yeah, the shadows. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean that a little bit more green with that Parallel Maroon. That's the thought for right now, for sure. All right, a little bit more yellow. We'll keep all the yellow on this side. We really could do the inner workings of this real quick. There's not a whole lot to it. I'm gonna leave some of those white lines. Just kind of go in between that red and yellow. I don't mind if there's like a little bleed here. Maybe a little bit more of that brown towards those back ends. We can grab this guy here. And back to that red, the outside of that. Brown. Back up a little bit. Really just paying attention to where I got colors. I don't care so much about the... I feel like we got a good mix with the limited palette we got. So all I'm really looking for is like values and the differentiating between my gouache being in front of, however, I will say gallo and stone brown gouache or stick. Hey, gallo has gouache, or are you talking about the watercolor? Do you? Oh. I'm gonna bring this back yellow right here. This dried super quick too. I don't know if it's just getting a little bit drier in the office now. Not mad about it either though. Their mid-century palette is basically gouache. Bring this up a little bit more. Some water. Maybe a little bit more brown. Yeah, Fanny's been holding off on a gallo for a long time. Still shocked on that one, actually. I like that. I do want to lean a little bit more brown. Can I create some of these dark shadows in between this? And then back yellow into this red. I want to see how this red shifts now that I've realized I forgot that line there. Let's see how she lifts. Not bad. Reds are normally pretty good about that. Yeah, she hasn't bought any gallo yet. I'm like super duper shocked, actually. Get rid of some of this white here. I don't really need it. A little bit more down this route. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I think she's one that realizes when she has a lot of supplies. She's pretty smart. Back to that Perylene. Hooker's green. What I want to do is separate this a little bit more. Some more water. I just have a lot of brown there. I'm going to drop in some red just to suggest like another little petal there. We can kind of lift that a little bit of light. All right, that's good there. Okay, not mad about that. We get some shadows in here, we'll build some depth. I think I'll be done with this guy. We got so much texture in this thing. Like I was extremely loose with the water on this one. I'll put the shadows, and I think I'll dry brush like a little bit of those kind of veins into it. Like there will be folds. I'll be good with it. Okay, that's not bad. Now, for the shadows, like Salt Bay, yeah. I don't know if y'all ever get to see that often, honestly. Well, I guess when I do it at home, too. Apparently maroon. Like I said, I'm going to lean this a lot more green than red. So just those two colors, apparently maroon and Hooker's green. What I want to do is just create some spots on here. I might have to dry a few of these just to kind of keep. I'm going to do this pretty quick, pretty thick. That way when I push back into the shadow, it's not necessarily dry on me. So I'm going to take that line up. All I'm going to do is kind of push some water back into it. Like I do with my shadows on like a cup or a glass. Just create a little bit of depth. If I need to, I can kind of soften things up and loosen stuff out. These songs and ambience remind me so much of the good Insta Live. I don't miss them at all, if I'm being honest. The only thing I miss is you and Becca a bunch. Alright, cool with that. And we'll keep that shadow going for the most part. I'm gonna leave a little white space between this one and the last one. Just because I feel like I lost that last leaf a little bit. Insta's been good to me growth-wise lately, but I think we did a live on there a few months back, didn't we? Like right when I got my account back, and they like immediately shut me down for music. And it was copyright-free music like this. And this isn't even like the one I was using for Instagram either. This is like a way better one. Some water in here. Don't want really hard lines. Just want that shadow to play out a little bit more. So you see me lay down color, then I'll throw some water and then feather it all out a little bit more. Which I still talking about Gallo. Is he going on lag? Okay. I don't want to do any shadow here besides like this little guy. It has like a little bit of light. Soften that back up. Show that fold a little bit. And then same thing behind this. So right here at this little edge. Again, when you're doing it this way, just go thicker with your shadow line. So what's going to happen is once you try to soften that back up, that water's going to peel back into it. Lighten it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to feather. I like that look a lot. And the good thing about this is we're kind of bringing out those lighter values too. Like everything felt real moody, real dark. This is going to bring out some of those yellows. And all I'm doing is keeping in mind that my light's coming this way. So anything that looks like it could block light from one of these petals, like these parts here, just creating depth with these shadows. A little bit of roundness on this guy here. So I always go bigger because you'll end up pushing that back with water. This is where a light touch really comes into play. More of that mix. I don't want to lose all that red there, so my shadows are going to start getting a little bit smaller towards the inside here. Maybe a little bit more pronounced. So lay the color down, go down with like a wet brush here. Don't really want a black look, I just want a darker look than what we got on the petal. This guy's going to catch a little bit. Good thing about watering this down too is you can use the same shadow, just increase the value, increase the intensity of it with water or more paint. A bit more drop there. And then same thing on this guy. I might push this guy out a lot actually. Soften that edge. A little bit stronger. Might misshape this a little bit more. It kind of looks like a bell to me. There we go. All right, very cool. So we got most of our shadows here. I mean, there's probably a small cast shadow off of this guy. So maybe we'll throw that in there just for a little bit more depth. Same thing with the brush and kind of soften back a little bit. This guy's probably going to have a little bit of shadow as well. Right here. All right, I like where everything's at. It almost looks like red cabbage though. Those bigger leaves, those bigger petals I put that are just kind of vamped out. Probably could have done without those. Probably should have just done the main flower. So I like that one a lot. I like what happened here, but it's not a great. Step away from the sketch. It's not a great shape. This was from mine, so I'm not extremely mad about it. Oh, what are you doing, Dee? If you're doing the purple rose, that's why I put it up there, was for y'all. This is one I already had sketched out. All right, what we can do now, take a small brush. I'm gonna go with, since this is a bigger sketchbook, I can get away with going with like a size 6. I'm gonna start just kind of throwing in some of these spots. They are hard to sketch. Do is just start kind of throwing in towards this right side for sure. Some of these kind of like little textures here. A little light touch dry brush. And kind of just matching what colors I have on these. Don't need a whole lot. The eye tends to fill in a lot of it. I'm going to that shadow color, that green. Throw maybe a few more. Going up this end here. If I'm chatting, I'm not working on sketchbook. It's all right to fail, D. It's all right. I promise. Maybe a little bit of that brown into that yellow. Grab this guy here. I want to show a little bit more darkness on this side without putting a full wash. I wouldn't say that much. I really don't like it, if I'm being honest with you. I like the stuff that happened on it. Like, I like the blooms, I like the colors, but it's not my, I wouldn't look at this as like a great painting. Not from me, at least. I don't even hold myself to that high standards, honestly. I should go with a smaller brush here. Just creating a few of those lines. Trying not to lose the yellows I got. I really, really love those yellows a lot. What I'm doing is dry brushing some of those curls back in. I mean, my main goal with this sketchbook was to fail a lot. So I hope y'all kind of follow me on that one. Again, if the petal's red, I'm leaning into the red with a dry brush. If it's yellow, I'm going to either go yellow or that yellow brown. So we did such a light wash with that yellow that I think we can get away with a lot. Thank you, Dean. If you guys want me to start complaining to you what I don't like about my stuff, I'm down for that too. Because there's often times where, like, I know y'all can tell when I'm excited. I don't know if y'all can tell when I'm not really liking something. This will be a fun one right here. This one's got this kind of curve. We can get away with that brown. More in the foreground here, so we can actually push some really decent folds into that one. So into that shadow brown. And I almost want to go big stroke here. Yeah, normally if you hear me say I'm not mad about it, it's like I'm not happy either. If that makes sense. Like, okay, that's not what I wanted, but it worked. because it is watercolor. It's going to do almost everything it wants to do. Thank you, Jim. It's a rose cabbage. I think you just kind of pick. I almost want to put some more red to this entire flower. I just feel like it's kind of dead right here. So where I put that shadow in, I'm going to throw in some pretty stout red here and water it back out. Just a little bit of softening. See right there, we were able to kind of create on accident 2 different petals, which I'm not mad about. So a little bit into that brown, and we'll push that tone a little bit more. There's a lot of times too when I'm painting something else, like I'm painting this rose right now, but some of these colors and some of the ways, that it's blending, like I almost see like a patina almost. So like I would keep that jogged in my memory bank of things that happened. And like if I'm ever doing like a patina painting, I know that these colors will work really cool for it. You know what I mean? Just creating some textures. Not going too crazy with it. I mean, if you take these out, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these green just to prove my point that the rose itself looks fine. I think it's just those big ears that I put on this guy. We'll do that next. Dry brush a few more of these in here. Push out some of these darks. Yeah, we're going to paint those big petals green and see what happens. I'm curious. Just separate this guy. I'm going to put a little bit more dark there. Maybe a little bit of red. All right, I like where that's at. I forgot what I did that right. Got a photographic memory, thank God. All right, let's paint these other guys green. I'm curious. That's a sketchbook. We're learning. Let's go back into that hooker's green. I'll lean it warm with that Quin Gold. And we're gonna make it super bright. Since everything else is really, really warm and muted, what I'll do is create that bright green with that Quin Gold. And what we can do is kind of mix it in with that red on the side here and not waste any paint. A little bit of maroon in that. That'll be 2 greens. And what I want to do here is change these from red to green. So we're not going to go like super saturated. We can still lean these watered down saturation, but turn everything green. And it'll either look more like cabbage or like a rose in a leaf bed. And we don't have to do the whole thing green either. Grab a little bit more this way. Keep more shadows too, which is good. Might go a little bit more heavy on that green towards the backside. I do have some red spots that might be showing in more than I want. Let me put my brush down. Drop a little bit more water in there. Same thing, Hooker's green, Quinn yellow. We're doing a shift in colors here. Into that kind of muddy green. What I don't want to do here is agitate my my shadows and also lose any of my shape. So there we go. Back into that bright green. So still using color theory, we are kind of throwing that complementary color in there. More water here, softer on this since this is the lighter side of the leaf. Maybe a little bit more of that Hooker's green. Just in certain spots here. Same thing on this guy here. I think roses really have leaves shaped like this. Again, this is from the old brain, the old ticker, and it's not been great, so roll with it. Color that green all the way down. Put a little bit of that earthy green in there. Green's not really the focus. I'm kind of hoping the green brings out the rose, honestly. I used 0 blue in here besides the mixture of the Hookers. Drop some water in here, get a little bit more texture on this guy, a little bit more light. No, I see that I don't like so far is I got a little bit of crazy on the water on this guy, so we'll push him back in a little bit. Kind of what I want to do is spritz this a little bit if I can find the spritz. Let's play. Let's see if this goes out a little bit. I don't want it random too, not no big streaks coming out, but a little bit of softness to it maybe. Not into my pedal. There we go. And now we got to have a little bit of fun with it, maybe a little bit of second line dancing. Etcher, yeah, that's one thing I will say about Etcher. It definitely, most definitely does buckle. There we go. Okay, let's dry that and see what we got. Yeah, now it kind of looks like a rose on a lily pad. I'm fine with it. It's better than a cabbage rose. And it was colors that I normally don't use, which I'm very happy about. Now I know if I'm leaning for like a moody, earthy fall, I've got the colors for that. It's messy, it's fine, it's a sketchbook. I am happy with it. I am not mad at all. Pleasantly surprised, pleasantly happy. Yeah, no, they're pretty quick on their emails. I already feel like I got like 10 emails saying my stuff was shipped. Wait, is it a legitimate flower? Is it really? I knew that. My connection to nature. It'd be a real shame if I got something correct on accident. Right? I don't think Emily would be happy with that. Or Fanny, for that matter. There's Fanny. My connection's so strong I don't even know it. And then I got busy. Yeah, I think so. I think it was a little too much the shapes that I chose for it. I can see that now. The shapes that I chose for those extra petals, like I was in between if they were leaves or petals. Like I wanted it to be a big ass rose, so I guess the shape I went with is maybe the petal inside. I'd have put some bins on them, maybe, or made less of them, like 3 big ones, maybe. I don't know. Different ways I could have tackled that one for sure. But I am loving those colors together. The fact that that nothing new came out, oh, you should see the other shit. That's the funny part. Okay, I'm not mad about that at all. A blue, if I would have used a blue, I probably would have been a little bit more bold on the shadows. But that would be totally me and totally everything that I always do. So I kind of like where this is at. And I think that is going to be it for me. I might go take a break and maybe I'll hop on old TikTok and play around for a little bit. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me for Sketchy Saturdays, and we'll do it again. Most likely next week I should be fine, but I'm probably going to be quiet for a week. Check in when I can and whatnot. Yeah. Grand Canyon trip, Arkansas trip. Yeah, it's going to be a mess. So, mucho love, mucho appreciation. If you want to come hang out on TikTok, I'll be there in about 20-ish minutes. Go grab some more coffee and think of something to paint. Thank you, Attica. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mel. I want to go through what we got so far real quick before I get off. I've painted more in this sketchbook than I've painted in any sketchbook, honestly. So magnolias, kind of loose landscape. Forgot about that one. The grapes. Big ass sky. I don't think y'all saw a lot of these. I don't know if I've posted any of these. Kind of playing, but this guy. This was a fun one. This one's just big ass brush strokes. The lighthouse. This is Germany. Still got to do that one. This is the first non-spread. And then this guy. And now our rose. So, anyways, mucho love. I'll see you guys in a little bit if y'all come. Later, nerds.